Welcome to People with Purpose. I am your host, Sylvain Rochon. I'm a speaker, an author, a serial entrepreneur, and a business strategist. My purpose is to engineer a paradise on Earth using cutting-edge technology. I hope this show will give you excellent examples of individuals that chose to do great things in their personal and professional lives. Perhaps they will inspire you to follow in their footsteps. The show's format is very simple. I ask my guests 3 simple questions. What is your personal purpose? Why is it important to you? And how did you get started? Now let's hear from our guest.
Hello everybody, my name is Sylvain Rochon and this is People with Purpose. I left the intro there, but I'm not interviewing somebody today. Today I want to give you some results because there was an intention behind this show. Of course, I wanted to show you people with a purpose and discover what their purpose in life is. And that's a very deep question, isn't it? When you're asked that, like, what is it really you want to do? What kind of impact you want to do in life? And this is, my intention was to try to find what is the common thread between different individuals that have had a certain amount of success professionally. So they are comfortable with themselves. They're not scrounging for food and crumbs. Like most of the people I interviewed are not rich people. Some of them are. Some of them are wealthy. Some of them are, just normal people that have done some pretty amazing things. But the intention was, well, how are they thinking? What is it they would do if they had, all the time in the world and they didn't have to worry about money, for example? Because that's where our mind goes when we ask ourselves, what is our life purpose? What do we want to do? And if we're really aware of ourselves and who we are intimately, we make abstraction of material goals like money, which is not really a goal at all. Money is to exchange something that is meant to exchange for something else. So you may want to have a comfortable, well air-conditioned home, because right now it's getting really hot here. I'd love to have a better air conditioning. It could be for something, but it's not the money itself. It could be power. Some people are craving after power. That does exist. I haven't met any personally, but I've seen some. By the way, you're right. But in general, from what I discovered, there is a common thread about life purposes. And if you've been following the series yourself, there is a common thread. Everybody that I've interviewed have a very particular interest. Biologists, aging, blockchain, marketing, solutions, financial systems to try to resolve problems that way. But so they all have a very different approach to what they really enjoy doing. This is the actual work. So work defined in the physical sense as doing something that contributes to make something, like energy or producing something. That's work, right? Everybody has a certain a type of work they really enjoy doing on a regular basis. It could also be artists. We had some people more in like psychology consultants, business owners, very successful business people. That in fact, we had a total of 19 guests in this particular series. And the common thread is, like, no matter what kind of work, which is extremely varied, they're doing, the common thread of life purpose is they want to contribute to society in a positive way. In some cases, going as far as leaving a legacy. That usually came from people that were a little bit older in age. They want to leave something behind that is positive, kind of leaving a footprint that they can hopefully look back on. It's like, well, I did this, and this is my positive contribution to humanity. Now, that is extremely positive. I kind of expected to see these kind of results because I do curate who I interview. I just don't interview random people off the street. I do find people that are doing interesting things, that have a certain kind of ideology in their business and how they interact with people. So of course I didn't expect, you know, finding people that were totally assholes. I want it to be positive and interesting and entertaining for you guys. But it's really hopeful. It wasn't very difficult. I meet people all the time like this. Everywhere I go, I meet individuals that have a strong motivation to do a certain amount of work. And then I invite them to the show, and then I discover their life purpose. The reason why they're so motivated in that specific work is because they want to leave a trace. They want to make a change. That's their motivation. The motivation is people helping other people, not about helping themselves. I haven't seen anyone that I've interviewed or talked to, because I have other guests I have lined up that I have difficulty scheduling because they're busy, let's say, that have like a very weird, like materialistic idea, like I'm doing this work because I want to, like I mentioned before, power, or I want to buy myself a bigger house, or no, they really don't care about that stuff. Of course, they want to be comfortable. So it all comes down to what I've been writing in my books, Engineering Paradise. And this is a well-known aspect of research. It's not, that's why I jumped into it. I was pretty sure of myself that people find more pleasure and happiness in giving to others than by providing for themselves. Now, this only works beyond a certain level of frustration. So if people have a difficulty finding their basic needs, like eating, lodging, they're suffering from violence constantly, things, if the stress level is really high, it changes. People become very egocentric, selfish, when they are in survival mode. Like they'll do amazing things for their family, for their inner circle in survival mode, because you have a whole bunch of hormones involved in survival mode, like especially around your family. These are your survival group, for example. But if you remove the stress, so most of the people I interviewed are very comfortable with themselves. Financially, they're okay. They're very stable individuals. They're past that. They're past the selfish stage of survival. That's all provided for. Or they build it for themselves, and they live in a country, like most of them lived in Canada. So a country where basic needs are met for most people, not all, but we have a very good social system over here. So they start thinking about, well, I want to enhance my pleasure. I want to do something that really is going to get me going, really get me motivating, and I want to wake up in the morning excited about life. I want to do something amazing. And they focus on what they do best and what they enjoy doing, which is the work, right? Different for everybody. But the focus is always, 19 times out of 19 in the interviews was, well, I want to do something for others. I'm using my work, because that's what I know, what I love, to do something really cool and great in society. So that's a lesson for us all. That's a lesson of hope. What we need to do as a society, knowing this is a bit of a micro experiment, but it's been done many times by people way more qualified than I am in psychology, usually in big universities with big sample groups. What we need to do is we need to make sure everybody gets to eat, everybody gets to lodging, everybody gets social security of some sort, or a home. Basic needs need to be met. We need to reduce the amount of stress levels. They need to be removed from places of danger, for example, all this stuff. And if we are able to do that with the whole population, then we have a whole population that is automatically going to the mindset of, what can I do to give to society, to give to the neighbors, to give to others I don't know. And they want to do that because in low amount of stress, dopamine, the parasympathetic neural system activates inside the brain. And these biological mechanisms that we cannot fight make us social beings that want this, that derive more pleasure. Again, this is a well-tested fact in science. They'll derive more pleasure in giving to others than to themselves. It is a biological fact that this will happen. There's always outliers, but an extreme minority. So how do we build a better world? How do we engineer paradise? Topic of my book. Well, we got to take care of everybody that is in high stress, because they're the ones that commit crimes. They're the ones that are in bad shape. They are suffering. They are selfish for survival purposes. And they're trying to just survive, trying to just live. So let's build systems like basic income. Let's implement that in an intelligent way so that everybody's got the basic covered. And I've written a lot about this, many videos on the channel. You can research that. Let's do that. Let's build it down. Let's make sure everybody has got enough money, which is the concept of basic income, unconditional, by the way, would be better, has enough money to buy housing and to eat, and housing in a decent neighborhood, not the high-grade neighborhood, but just a place where the person can feel reasonably safe. Provide health care so that people are not suffering mentally or physically, because mental health is just as bad as physical health, or sometimes some people would say it's even worse because it's in your mind. If your mind doesn't work really well, even if you're not suffering in your body, you can't be very productive in society, and other people may suffer from it. Let's make sure we have great education that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. We have this in Canada. We have healthcare here in Canada that is actually fairly good as it is. And even the new provincial elections are going on, and almost all the parties, without exceptions, have platforms to improve our healthcare system, make it cheaper and more accessible to everybody, as well as putting more money in higher education and education. This is all from taxpayers. This is all from taxpayers. It's all doable by, according to these platforms, which I was very impressed, and great job, Ontario political parties. You're pitching a great pitch. They're taking taxes from big corporations and wealthy individuals. They're increasing the taxes for those people that already have enough, okay? And they feed it back to society, and then everybody can enjoy a higher education, more education, or better education, better healthcare, and I'm hoping better wages, or a basic income, which is only part of one platform in great detail, the Green Party, if you're interested. So let's do that. That is part of the actions we can do to engineer paradise, to bring down this stress level that a lot of people are suffering from in North America and the rest of the world. Do that, and then our own biology, our own natural instincts will motivate us to give to each other. I mean, that's the best way to go about it. If you want to motivate a population into doing certain things in a certain positive way, give them the platform or the basis for their own biology to effortlessly drive them into that decision process. We wouldn't need to educate people to, oh, please give, you should be doing that all the time. If they're in that state, they'll be finding ways to do it because it gives them and their families pleasure, more than the selfish pleasure of self-indulgence. So that's really the key. And I was very glad to do this series with you. This is going to be the end of series 1. I'm going to close it here because I think conclusions and results is a good closure for a series. I will pick up the series like series 2 or season 2, if you will, in a few weeks, not too long, maybe a month from now. I'm going to do more interviews and kind of gather some people and get organized and to do another series. In that vein, if you know some people that you would like me to interview for whatever reason, to discover who they are, their inner motivations, why they do things, like their life purpose, let's continue this. It's been an enjoyable time. People have enjoyed the videos. I think the guests have enjoyed being able to reveal what's really underneath, because they don't really talk about that a whole lot So that's been very popular. So let's keep doing that. Help me doing that, provide you with excellent content that can drive our society forward and give us some insights in how we can make the world better. So that's going to be it for this week. And yeah, I'll continue the series in perhaps a month from now. Hope everything is going well for you guys and you have a happy summer.
I hope you enjoyed the interview. If you did, please subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share. Please join me also on Clubify, a social app allowing us to share ideas and where you can participate in some of my projects. The link is in the section below. Also, if you wish to recommend someone great I should interview, please let me know. And as always, follow your passion. See you next week.